One of my favorite Netflix animation shows that came out in 2021 was Arcane. And after watching the first season, I couldn't wait for season 2 to come out. So does it live up to expectations with its conclusion? Let's get started on my review of Arcane season 2. Let's go.
I think it's time to blow this thing. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
What's going on, all my Flicksers? This is Jacey from Jacey Flicks, and I just finished watching the complete season 2 of Arcane. Now, before I do get started with my review, please note this will be a spoiler-free review, just in case you haven't seen the whole series yet, or any episodes currently showing on Netflix. Also, please make sure that you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on more animated shows that I'm reviewing just like this. So, Arcane stars Ella Purnell, Haley Steinfeld, Katie Leung, Kevin Alejandro, Alan Thomas, Harry Lloyd, Reed Lorenzo, Shannon, and more. Amid the stark discord of twin cities, Piltover and Zon, two sisters, Vi and Jinx, fight on rival sides of a war between magic technologies and clashing convictions. Now, I remember when the first season came out, I couldn't stop watching each and every single episode, and even had coworkers and friends telling me how good it was. So when I finished the first season, of course, I couldn't wait for season 2 to come out, hoping that it would match or even top the first season with its conclusion. I mean, let me also preface this by saying that I've never played the game before. Yeah, I know, even after finishing season 2, I still haven't played the game, but I will get around to it, you guys, all right? I promise I will. But nonetheless, after the first season, I was blown away by just how amazing the first season was. I mean, you had the emotional impact of the characters brought on by the brilliant voices from the actors. The animation was top tier, still is actually, and the music that was in there just seemed like it came on at the right moments. I mean, each single episode and each scene was gripping. I couldn't take my eyes off the screen, and I had to binge watch the first season when it came out. So when it came to this season, I was hoping and praying that they would keep that momentum and style for this season, and I'm glad to say that they did for the most part, and trust me, we'll get into the negatives later, but first, let's start with some of the positives. So the second season of Arcane continues to build on the compelling narrative foundation laid by the previous season. While the first season explored the brewing tensions between the citizens of Piltover and Zon, this season escalated into full-blown conflict, which is something I was so hyped to see. Now, with Acts 1 and 2, which Netflix decided to release them separately at separate times, I get why they did that, but I was eagerly waiting every single act. Act 1, they decided to release on this day, and then Act 2 on this day, as well as Act 3, ending this past Saturday. And Acts 1 and 2 are a masterclass in balancing multiple storylines, showing how leadership rooted in oppression can radicalize an entire population. Each episode weaves interconnected plots that expand beyond Piltover's boundaries, delivering high-stakes storytelling without losing focus on the characters' personal arcs. However, Act 3 does stumble a bit, rushing its conclusion and leaving many threads kind of unresolved. But we'll get back to that. Themes of systematic inequality and class struggle are ultimately sidelined for a more conventional unite against a greater threat narrative, undercutting the emotional depth of earlier episodes. Now let's talk about the voice acting. The voice cast continues to elevate Arcane's characters, with standout performances driving the story's emotional core. Haley Steinfeld's portrayal of Vi captures the character's vulnerability and inner conflict as she navigates her place in the escalating war. Katie Leung's Caitlin shines as she struggles to balance her ideals with the harsh realities of leadership, her nuanced performance capturing the impact of her time in the Undercity. Ella Purnell's Jinx, of course, stands out as well in the second season, remaining a scene stealer, to be honest, delivering a layered depiction of grief and chaos as her character undergoes significant growth throughout this season. Now, let's talk about the music, alright? Because I felt like I had to talk about this. The soundtrack in season 2 takes an even bigger stride than the first, effectively blending storytelling with music. And I like how a lot of the animation would change every single time a song was on, just like season 1 kind of did, but season 2 emphasized that just a little bit more. Riot Games' expertise in creating music-driven narratives shines here, with tracks like Renegade, We Never Run by Raja Kamari, Stefflon Don, and Jarena DeMarco, and Cocktail Molotov Molotov by Zan add some emotional weight to key moments in this season. My personal favorites of this second season though have to be What Have They Done to Us by Mako and Gray, and also Sucker by Marcus King. Musical montages are creatively used to deliver exposition and enrich the show's world building, though at times it does feel like they added too many moments for the music in this season compared to the first. It still fulfills its purpose nonetheless. Overall, the integration of music enhances the series' identity and heightens the impact of its most pivotal scenes, just like in season 1 that the creators so masterfully did. Finally, let's talk about the animation, you guys. Studio Fortiche, I think I'm pronouncing that right, continues to deliver groundbreaking animation, cementing Arcane's place as a visual masterpiece. From the kinetic energy of action sequences to the subtleties of characters' facial expressions, every frame is meticulously crafted. The animators blend live action cinematography techniques with impressionistic elements unique to animation, creating a style that is both realistic and artistic. The fight scenes, particularly those involving League of Legends champions, feel visceral and weighty, capturing both the physical and emotional stakes, showcasing the studio's talent for conveying raw emotion through animation. And I gotta hand it off to them, you guys, because that is one of the biggest reasons why that even at moments where I was a little confused or I was kind of feeling like, okay, where is this going? I would start to see some of these emotional moments, and the way it is conveyed in this animation, especially in this style, right away my attention was just switched to that moment, and it kept me wanting to see more. While Arcane Season 2 boasts exceptional animation, a strong soundtrack, and outstanding performances, its rushed conclusion and sidelining of its core themes, leaving it less cohesive than the first season, it kind of feels a little bit underwhelming as it ends. Acts 1 and 2 are filled with compelling character arcs and intense storytelling, but Act 3 falters a bit, trading depth for spectacle. I felt like this season would have benefited a bit more from having at least 3 more episodes for the build up to the finale. I feel like then it would have transitioned more smoothly, explained more, given more context, showed why certain outcomes came to be, and just kind of gave more oomph to the ending. Another thing I will say about the negatives too though, you guys, is that as this season does go on, it does get a bit confusing at times, especially in the middle with certain storylines and with not much exposition until you get to the end. Now, I will also say though, if you are a fan of the game or you are very familiar with that world and the video game, then you will catch on really quick to certain things and what's going on and how characters are coming into their own as some of these players that you play in the game. And with all that being said though, you guys, I'm still gonna give Arcane 4 flames out of 5 and a fire show rating.
It's good. It's good.
Despite its flaws, Arcane remains one of the most ambitious and visually stunning animated series of the modern era, offering moments of brilliance that solidify its reputation as a groundbreaking show. And again, still hats off to these animators and the creators for creating something very different, having such depth to these characters, picking phenomenal voice actors, and also just really coming up with these very creative storylines to give to some of these video game characters. So there are quite a few great episodes in this second season, so I did want to give you guys my standout episodes, which are my favorite and my recommendations. And those include episode 3 titled Finally Got the Name Right, episode 4 titled Paint the Town Blue, episode 5 titled Blisters and Bedrock, episode 6 titled The Message Hidden Within the Pattern, and finally episode 7 titled Pretend Like It's the First Time. Alright guys, so have you seen Arcane Season 2 yet? If you have, let me know what you thought of it overall. Also, who is your favorite character in this show? Mine is either Victor or Vi. Let me know in the comments below and let me know what I should review next. Last thing before I do go, you guys, please make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up to date. My name is Jacey from Jacey Flicks, and until next time.